Thank you to the sponsor of this video, AeroSeal.
I'm going to share some secrets with you today. Today's video, I'm going to talk about some mistakes that homeowners make when it comes to heating their home that actually cost them lots of money. And in some of these things we're going to talk about, a lot of heating and air technicians already know what I'm going to talk about, but they can't tell you. They can't be honest with you. And here's why. I'll give you just a quick scenario. There are times when we might be able to say, set the balance point in your house as low as possible so you can save as much energy as possible. And homeowners don't want that. They just want comfort. And if they don't get that, then they're going to be leaving a bad review and calling that tech back and telling them, that they don't know what they're doing. And in contrast, what a technician could do instead, if a homeowner had enough patience and wanted to have a very efficient home, and that is they could set the balance point as low as possible, only to find out that it's not quite set high enough, and then they raise it a little bit and then see if that works. And because every house is different, we've talked about balance point in other videos, and getting that balance point dialed in for that heating and air system matched up with that home, with all the settings, the airflow and the static pressures, everything set up perfectly. So that way that heating and air system gives that homeowner comfort, but as efficient as possible. That's just one quick example. I'm going to go through some more in this video. If you have never seen my content before, we're sharing secrets in the heating and air industry with folks like you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and of course hit that like and leave a comment if you get any value out of this. But let's dive into this. I'm going to go over a couple things. The first one being something we talked about in a recent video where I talked about how one specific wire can cause your electric bill to go significantly higher. I'll put a link to that video down in the description of this video. But a lot of folks just understanding that if you do have a heat pump, whether that's a heat pump with air handler, electric backup heat strips, or a dual fuel system where you have a heat pump outside and some sort of fossil fuel burning appliance inside, gas furnace, oil, whatever, understanding that the reason the heat pump is there is to try to remove heat from the outside air. And you might say, well, Josh, on super cold days, there ain't a lot of heat to remove. And the answer to that is you're right. As temperatures get lower and lower, heat pumps start to struggle, and they've come a long way. Years ago, if it was, say, below 40 degrees, then you needed to definitely have a backup heat source. And today we have some systems that, depending on where you are in the country, you don't even need backup heat, that heat pump can keep up on 99% of the days of the year because of the technological advances that we've made, that some of these systems can heat well below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, still provide heating to that home with simply a heat pump that draws very little electricity. But it's that backup heat, whether it's electric heat strips or gas burning appliance. Now, gas is a whole nother topic, because whether or not if you have natural gas or LP, that plays a big role in your utility bills. But point being, whatever that backup source is, trying to dial that system in, not just the balance point of that system, but also all the other nuances of that system, dialing in the airflow properly, making sure everything is sized correctly, and making sure what we're going to talk about in our next item, which is thermostat settings, are all set up right. But before we get to thermostat settings, I just want to say a big thank you to the sponsor of this video, AeroSeal.
Every HVAC contractor wants one thing: guaranteed performance for the customer. The truth is, no matter how good that install looks, if it's connected to leaky ductwork, chances are it is, it's not going to perform the way that you promised. 20% duct leakage on an 18-SEER system makes it perform like a 12-SEER. That's where AeroSeal comes in. It's the only proven way to seal ducts from the inside that you could never reach by hand. When you use AeroSeal, you can guarantee airflow, system efficiency, and comfort on every job. That means fewer callbacks, happier customers, and a better reputation for quality. If you're serious about standing behind your installs, service, and solutions, AeroSeal is the only way. Let's talk.
Now let's talk real quick about thermostat settings, because this is another one that a lot of homeowners, if they were to have a look, again, we've already talked about balance point multiple times, but if they were to dial in all of the settings correctly, so your adaptive intelligent recovery, or whatever verbiage they use for recovery, when it's good to run a schedule and when not. These are all things that I've talked about on my channel before one of you leaves a comment that says, well, why don't you just talk about that stuff? I've talked about it endlessly in other videos. So keep watching my content and you'll get, a masterclass on these things. But the point here is, when we're talking about the settings in that thermostat, there are certain settings that if they're set correctly, they can save you lots and lots of money. Other settings in there, such as geofencing, other smart technologies with today's thermostats, some of them can be set up for the verbiage that a lot of the companies will use are aggressive or comfort versus economy. So if you were to go more in that economy sort of direction, then yes, maybe it might take longer to reach temperature to heat your home. But if everything's set up correctly, longer run times isn't necessarily a bad thing always. A longer run time for the first stage heat could still save you tons of money instead of a backup source of heat running quickly and heating that home and turning off. And so I think having a good heating and air technician, having someone that you trust, but is also willing to take the time, especially if it's their off season, middle of the winter or summer, and they're just slam busy, it's really hard to nail someone down to have a lot of patience and figure all that out. But if you have a really good technician and they're willing to take the time to maybe, hey, let's dial these settings in and see how that works and maybe come back tomorrow, let's see how it does tonight kind of thing. There are certain settings on that thermostat that you could save a ton of money getting them set correctly. Find a good heating and air technician, really understand what all those settings are. You would not believe in the classes that I have taught how many technicians don't know some of the settings that they're setting when they go through the list of settings of a programmable thermostat, and trying to understand what each one of those line items actually is and what you set it at could play a big role in utility bills and the comfort of that homeowner. But finally, the last thing I want to touch on this video on mistakes that homeowners may not know, and that is when it comes to refrigerants. So we're in an age where we now have a number of different refrigerants out there for a number of reasons. Some of them have been phased out. Some of them are being phased down. Some of them are newer, but there's different ones. And all that being said, the one thing that I think could be basically held true regardless of which refrigerant it is, and that is they're a lot more expensive than they used to be. It used to be that, we're talking about, oh, I'm low on refrigerant. Well, let's just top it off again this year and I'll see you next year kind of thing. Those days are over unless you have endless pockets. And if you do have a refrigerant leak, having a technician that's not just going to find it, but I would even argue, now I come from a place where we never used dye, adding dye to that system. And as time went on and dealing with different manufacturers themselves that would ask me to add dye to certain systems, I ended up getting to a point where I think if it's done properly, dye is a good thing to add to that system, because you can find even pinhole leaks that are really hard to find. Doing things like that, adding dye to that system, finding the actual leak and repairing it permanently, pulling a good vacuum, doing other things like purging nitrogen when brazing and so on. All that makes a big difference in getting a permanent repair on refrigerants that some of these systems, to charge them, the dozen or more pounds of refrigerant that system holds, some of these refrigerants, we're talking hundreds of dollars, if not more than $1,000. $1,000 of just refrigerant some of these companies are charging. And so understanding that that's the actual problem, sometimes if it's the winter time and your heat pump system is now running off of a backup heat source and you don't even actually understand that the problem is with the heat pump and the first stage heat, what should be saving you lots of energy and money is actually the problem, that it's out of refrigerant or at least low on refrigerant and it's not able to do its job and heat your home. Get it repaired permanently and have a technician that doesn't cut corners. Let me know your thoughts. Are there any mistakes that I'm missing? Anything that you think I should be touching on here in the wintertime? It is a big deal because that's when a lot of utility bills do go sky high. That wire I was telling you about earlier that could cost you a lot of money. leave me a comment down in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more HVAC tips. We'll see you next time.